Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, and you also know me as ETCG1 on this channel, and I know I have two channels and I'm sorry if that confuses you, but if you've been waiting for this, here it comes. Hey, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Please enjoy this fat-free digital confection I found for you. It's fat-free because it's digital. Today I'd like to talk about, should you flush your oil? Now, this is something I used to get more questions about. I don't necessarily get as many questions about it these days, but this comes up because you probably see the Fixing It Forward Odyssey sitting behind me and you're like, hey Eric, I don't follow you on social media. I have no idea what's going on. Well, you should follow me on social media because then you'll know what's going on. And what's going on is the engine blew up. Yep, blew up the day she took it home, right in the middle of the highway. I already did a video about a mechanic's worst nightmare. This is my worst nightmare times 20, because this is the exact scenario I was trying to prevent. But that's not exactly what this video is about. I went and picked up a salvage yard engine as a replacement for this. Bought it with my own money. This is on me. It's my responsibility. I'll take the hit. Anyway, picked it up. And, you know, I did a quick inspection on it, but then when I got it back and took the valve covers off, I was kind of like, ew. Because down inside there was this caked up gunk. And you don't want to see this on an engine that you're installing in something, particularly after you just took out an engine that's blown up. But I can tell you this, J35A7 engines are difficult to find. Why? Because they blow up often because of that stupid VCM system. We'll get to that like when you watch this video. But the point is, should you flush your engine? Well, the reason why this comes up, as I said, the inside of this salvage yard engine is gunked up. And I had a passing thought about running an engine flush through it to get rid of that gunk. And then I thought to myself, well, I did that to the other engine, and when I did, the screen for the VCM kept clogging up with stuff, and I suspect it's because that stuff kept breaking loose and getting into that screen and clogging it up. And that's one of the things that I think you really need to be mindful of. So say you're like me and you, instead of getting an engine, you bought a used car and you look underneath the valve cover, you look under the oil cap and you're like, ew, I want to flush this engine. Think twice before you do. And I'm going to circle back to something I did years ago. I had an 85 Ford Thunderbird that I bought for like a couple $100. It had like if you took the valve cover off, there was a mold of gunk on the inside of the engine from the amount of gunk that was in this engine. It was, talk about sludge. It was epic sludge, and I'm sorry I don't have a picture for you. I mean, this is the 90s, who cared back then? I decided to do the old mechanic's trick and put some kerosene in it and run it. And I did just that. And it cleaned it up pretty darn good. Problem is it took all that junk, sent it down to the oil pickup, starved the engine for oil, and I blew that thing up shortly after flushing it out. So you need to just keep in mind, if you're gonna flush an engine, I say don't do it. I say don't do it for a couple of reasons. Not just because you could send the stuff through the system, the oiling system, into tiny little screens like things like variable valve timing or VCM or something like that. They've got these little screens, and if they get clogged up with stuff, they don't work right. And if you flush your engine, there's a high probability you're going to run into that problem. You're going to send all that gunk into those tiny little screens and orifices and things like that, and that stuff is not going to work. Or worst case scenario, it just blows up like it did with my Thunderbird. Regular oil changes will help this never happen from the get-go. And that's what I recommend you do. I do not recommend you flush your oil. Oh, the other thing is, that gunk that's on the inside of the engine may be the only thing that's sealing it up. You get rid of that gunk, and then the engine starts to leak like crazy. I've seen that too. So you're like thinking you're doing something good, thinking you're bringing an engine back to life. No. So what am I going to do with this Odyssey? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some high mileage oil. That's synthetically blended oil that's specifically designed to deal with high mileage engines, and hopefully keep more of that dirt and stuff in suspension. In fact, modern oils just make it so you don't have to worry about flushing an engine or anything like that. And if you find an engine that's all gunked up like this one, do not flush it. I recommend not flushing it, just leave it be. And like what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna continue running high mileage oil through it, and maybe it'll flush some stuff out through each and every oil change, slowly dissolve that stuff, not all at once, little, let's get rid of it all, let's, everybody out, let's go. Bad idea in my opinion. So do not flush your engine, do not consider it a part of routine maintenance, because it's just not. I mean, if it makes you happy, fine, but I don't think you're helping it at all. Modern oils and things like that simply do not require periodic flushing. They are designed and engineered in such a way to where all those issues that used to happen maybe years ago with dinosaur oil are gone. In fact, Have you been able to find dinosaur oil lately? And what I mean by that is conventional oil as opposed to synthetic. I actually tried to seek out trying to find some regular oil lately, and I had a hard time even getting it. I talked to my parts guy. I'm on the phone with him. I'm saying, hey, I need some just regular 5W20 oil. Well, we got high mileage, we got synthetic, we've got erase blend. I said, I need some regular oil. Well, we've got high mileage. I gave up. It's like, just send me some oil. And I ended up with synthetic oil. I even go into the auto parts store, everything is like some form of synthetic. And by the way, high mileage is synthetic. And I think maybe the chemical formulas and things have gotten to the point where that's just what they do now. So I don't know. Unless you're like looking at racing oil, stuff like that, I get it. But as far as walking into the auto parts store and trying to find regular oil, I had a hard time doing it. How about you? Engine flushes, have you done it? Have you had good experiences, bad experiences? And if you are thinking about trying it, my advice is don't do it. Just don't do it. Just put the flush down, run some high mileage oil instead. Do that for a while, change your oil on a regular basis, and you should never have an issue. Although I did see on this Odyssey there was a PCV issue, so if there is a problem with a PCV or positive crankcase ventilation system, it can cause that coking and that stuff to go up inside the engine. Anyway, if you have automotive questions, I ask that you head to ericthecarguy.com. That will be linked in the description along with other videos and stuff to help get you up to speed with things if you want to know, and you do want to know. You want to keep watching my videos. I know you do. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. Thank you so much for watching today. I will see you next time.